Hello children, I am Prasanna. In this video we are going to discuss ratio. What is mean by ratio? I will explain in this video. So in our day-to-day life we often come across the situations where we need compare quantities in terms of like magnitudes or measurements, etc. For example, at the time of admission in the school, we compare the marks of the students, isn't it? Whereas at the time of recruitment in the police or any other activity, we compare the weights and heights of the candidates. Generally, the comparison is done in two ways. It is done in two ways. One way is comparison by difference. I will show you the difference. Comparison by difference, and another is comparison by division. So I'll say one example, children. For example, if the weight of Ishita is 50 kgs, okay, and whereas Sania is nothing but 40 kgs, okay. Now then we can say that Ishita weight is greater than Sania's weight, isn't it? How much more? When you do subtraction, here we are doing by difference. 50 minus 40, that is 10 kgs. So I can say that Ishita is 10 kgs more than Sania, right? Suppose if Ishita height is 150 centimeters, whereas Sania's height is 125 centimeters. Then we can say that Ishita is taller than Sania, isn't it? Because 150 is greater than 125. By how much more? When you subtract 150 minus 125, you will get 25 centimeters. Now I can say Ishita is 25 centimeters taller than Sania. Right? Here we compared weights and heights of Ishita and Sania by finding the difference between them. Right? Such comparison is known as the comparison by difference. Okay children, suppose the comparison by difference does not make better sense than the comparison by division. For example, if the Maruti 800 car cost rupees 2.2 lakh, okay, and whereas Mercedes Benz cost rupees 26.4 lakhs. If you calculate the difference between the prices, it is rupees 24.2 lakhs. And if we compare by division, when we compare by division, so it will get cancelled 12 times. Okay. So if we compare by division, the cost of Mercedes-Benz car is 12 times more than the cost of Maruti 800. Okay. Thus in certain situations, comparison by division makes better sense than comparison by taking the difference. Okay children. Now we will see comparison by division. Now same example I am going to take here. Weight of Ishita is equal to 50 kgs, whereas Sania we took as 40 kgs. Okay children. Now here we will compare by division. So weight of Ishita by weight of Sania. Here this 2 gets cancelled. If you cut with 10 table, it is 5 by 4, isn't it? So we can say that Ishita weight is 5 by 4 times the weight of Sania. Right? Now suppose we will take Ishita's height. Ishita's height is 150 centimeters and Sania's is nothing but 125 centimeters. So we will compare 150 centimeters by 125. When you do, here this 2 gets cancelled. Here you will get 25 6 are 25 5 are. So you will get 6 by 5. Means we can also say that Ishita height is 6 by times that of Sania. We can also say that Ishita is 6 by 5 times taller than Sania. comparison by division. Thus, when we want to see how much more or how much less one quantity is than the other, we compare by difference. On the other hand, if you want to see how many times or more or less one quantity is than the other, we compare by division. So in fact, when we compare two quantities of the same kind by division, we say that we form a ratio of two quantities. Now thus we can say that ratio of weight of Ishita's to that of Sania is 50 by 40. 50 kgs by 40 kgs. Usually we use the symbol, this one, colon, to represent as a ratio. Okay, therefore the ratio of weight of Ishita to that Sania is written as 50:40, and this is read as is to or just 2. This is a symbol for ratio. It can be read as is to or just 2. Okay, now and read as 50:40. 50:40, or you can just say 50:40. It follows from the above discussion that ratio is a fraction that shows how many times a quantity is of another quantity of same kind. So we generally define the ratio as comparison two quantities, comparison of two quantities of same kind. So this is the definition of ratio. Okay children, and the ratio of two quantities of the same kind and in the same units is a fraction that shows how many times the one quantity is of other. So the ratio of two numbers, suppose A and B are the two numbers, the ratio of the two numbers can be written as A divided by B. Here B should not be 0, because if B is 0, the B will come in the denominator, it will become undefined, right? So it can be written as A is to B or A by B, and it is also denoted as A is to B. So in the ratio A is to B, the quantities A and B are called what? A and B are the terms of the ratio, and the A is called the first term and B is called the second term, and it is named as, first term is known as antecedent. The name of the first term in the ratio is called the antecedent, and the second term is called as consequent. Right children? So in the ratio A is to B, A is called the antecedent and B is called the consequent. We know that the fraction does not change when its numerator and denominator are multiplied or divided by the same non-zero number. So a ratio does not alter if its first and the second term are multiplied or divided by the same non-zero number. Right children? Now ratio in the simplest form. So in the ratio A is to B, it is said to be in simplest form if its antecedent and consequent have no common factor other than 1. So a ratio in the simplest form is also called as a ratio in lowest terms. We can also call lowest terms. Okay, for example, I take suppose 80 and 32. Ratio of 80 and 32. So 80 is to 32. Now can I say this ratio is in simplest form or lowest form? No, because they are having common factors. You can take directly. If I cut with 2, 2 is divisible by both numbers, right? 80 is divisible by 2, 32 is divisible by 2. So I will do 2 40 is 2 16 and if you see 40 and 60 will go in 4 table, 4 10s 4 4s, still 10 and 4 will go in 2 table, 5s 2s. Now I can say 5 is to 2 has no common factors, isn't it? As the simplest form of this ratio is, the simplest form of 80 is to 32 is 5 is to 2. So usually a ratio is expressed in simplest form always. Okay children. Next, In a ratio, we compare quantities. Once again, I am repeating, in a ratio, we compare two quantities. The comparison becomes meaningless if the quantities being compared are not of the same kind. For example, I cannot compare Ishika weight to Sania's height. Because Ishika weight is 50 kg where Sania's height is 125 centimeters. Here the quantities are same, children? No, these are kgs because it is measurement of weight, and these are centimeters because these are measurement of height. So if the comparison is meaningless if the quantities being compared are not of same kind, means they are not measured in the same units. Okay, children? So therefore, to find the ratio of two quantities, they must be expressed in the same units. This is very important, right? Since the ratio of two quantities of same kind determines how many times one quantity is contained by the other, so the ratio of any two quantities of the same kind is an abstract quantity. So in other words, the ratio has no units. It is independent of the units used in the quantities compared. Very important point. Ratio does not have any units. Why? Because we are comparing same quantities. Just now Ishika weight is 50 kgs and Sania weight is 40 kgs. Here we are comparing same quantities kgs. Here kgs gets cancelled. That's why ratio will not have any units. And one more important point, the order of the terms in the ratio A is to B is very important. Means A is to B is not equal to B is to A. Here order is very important. So the ratio, suppose 3 is to 2 is different from the ratio 2 is to 3. Okay, children, so these are the main important points in the ratio. Now we are going to discuss about proportion, children. What is proportion? I am writing definition here. The equality of two ratios. Okay? Equality of two ratios is nothing but proportion. Here, just now we discussed what is ratio, right, in my previous video. Now coming to ratio, it is a comparison between two quantities and it is denoted with the symbol this, right? And it is read as is to. Now if I take one example, I will consider two ratios here. One is 6 is to 18 and another I will take as 8 is to 24. Okay. Now I will convert this into simplest form. 6 ones are 6 threes are. Here also 8 ones are 8 threes are. Now what did you observe here? 1 is to 3, 1 is to 3. Means you got the two ratios equal. Right? When the two ratios are equal, we can say these four numbers. In one ratio, two numbers. So in two ratios, you will be having four numbers. We can say that four numbers are in proportion. That is, we can write as 6 is to 18 is equal to 8 is to 24 because you got the ratio equal. Right? So I can say they are in proportion. See, these are in is a proportion. Okay, now similarly if I take 40 is to 70, one ratio, and 200 is to 350. Now if I convert into simplest form, here 10 sevens are 10 fours are, so 4 is to 7. Coming to here you can cut the 0 0 and 5 fours are 5 sevens are. So are you getting the same ratio, children, here? Yes, so I can say 40 is to 70 is equal to 200 is to 350. Here the two ratios are equal, then I can say they are in proportion. So definition of proportion is equality of two ratios. So if we take in general, if you take A, B, C, D are the four members, when they are said to be proportion, if the ratio of the first two is equal to the ratio of the other two. That is, we write A is to B is equal to C is to D. Okay, so if four numbers A, B, C, D are in proportion, then we write it as A is to B, C is to D. Then what is this symbol which is read as? is as. So this is the symbol for proportion, children. It is read as is as. Now how do you read this full one? Here we read it as A is to B is as C is to D. Or we can also read as A to B or as C to D. So A is to B is as C is to D. Okay, here A, B, C, D are the first term. This is first term. B is called the second. C is called the third. And D is called the fourth terms. A is called the first term, B is called the second, C is called the third, D is called the fourth terms of the proportion. Yes, children? Now in this, the first term and the fourth term. First and fourth terms are called as extremes. First and the fourth term of a proportion are called extreme terms, or simply we can call extremes. And second and third term are called means, or called middle terms also, right? So here A is to B is as C is to D. Here A and D are called extremes and B and C are called means. Now example, just now we have taken 40 is to 70 is as 200 is to 350. Here what are these 40 and 350? 40 and 350 are extreme terms, okay, and coming to 70 and 200 are means. The first and the fourth term are called extreme terms and second and third are called mean terms. Okay, now here when we find the product of extremes, what is meant by products? Product is nothing but multiplication. So multiplication of extremes, that is 40 into 350. When you do 40 into 350, you will get 14,000. Okay. Now find out the product of middle terms, that is nothing but product of means. What are means here? 70 into 200. So you will get 14,000. Now clearly we got here product of means equal to product of extremes, or we can also write product of extremes is equal to product of means. Okay. Thus we have observed that if four numbers are in proportion, these are numbers in proportion, then the product of means is equal to product of extremes, or product of extremes is equal to product of means. So in generally, if A is to B is as C is to D are in proportion if and only if product of extremes is equal to product of means. Product of extremes equal to product of means. Suppose if product of extremes is not equal to product of means, then we can clearly say that A, B, C, D are not in proportion. So there is a condition for proportion, children, if product of extremes should be product of means. Suppose if you get a question like this, are 20, 30, 60, 90 are in proportion, right? How to do? So either you can do in two methods, children. First, find the ratio of the first two and the ratio of the other two. When you convert into simplest form, 10 3s are 10 2s are 2 is to 3. Here 6 are 9s are 6 is to 9. Again 6 and 9 will go in 3 table, 2s are 3s are. So are you getting the two ratios equal? Then we can say that 20, 30, 60, 90 are in proportion. So this is one method, children. Next, coming to another method, we can use the relation between the means and the extremes. Okay. So here 20 is to 30 is as 60 is to 90. In this 20 and 90 are extremes and 30 and 60 are means. So find product of means is equal to product of extremes. So what are the means here? 30 and 60. So 30 into 60 is equal to 20 into 90 because extremes are 20 and 90. So when we multiply 3 6 are 18 and 2 zeros, 2 9s are 18 and 2 zeros. So you are getting product of means equal to product of extremes. If you are getting equal, then we can say 20, 30, 60, 90 are in proportion. So if suppose if you are not getting product of means and product of extremes not equal, then we can clearly say they are not in proportion. Yes, we are going to learn about percentage children now. Here I will say one example first. Okay, suppose Pinky, the girl Pinky got the following marks in the 4 monthly test. Okay, so in the first test she got 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 marks. Coming to in the second test, for example, 18 out of 20. And in the third test, she got 20 out of 25. And in the fourth test, she got 35 out of 50. But she is confused. Yes, even we get confused because here the total marks are different, children. If the total marks are same, we can compare the numerator and can say on which test she got highest marks and lowest marks, right? But here the total marks are different because the first test is conducted for 10 marks, second test is conducted for 20 marks, third test is conducted for 25 marks, fourth test is conducted for 50 marks. So we will get confused, and she got confused in which hand she scored the highest. Then how could she compare when each the test have been marked out of different number? Yes, it will get confused. So to find out in which test did she do better, we will compare 6 by 10, 18 by 20, 20 by 25 and 35 by 50 by converting them into equivalent fractions having common denominator.
18 by 20.
Okay, children. So I find the LCM of 10, 20, 25 and 50. So if you find LCM, you will get 100. So make all the denominators as 100 by taking an equivalent fractions. Now 6 by 10. First I am taking 6 by 10. So for 10, how much we should multiply to get 100? 10 tens are. So you should multiply both numerator and denominator by 100. So 6 into 10 by 10 into 10. That is you got 60 by 100. Right? Now consider another number, that is nothing but 18 by 20. So here 20 is the denominator. For 20, how much we should multiply to get 100? 5. So 18 into 5 by 20 into 5. So 18 5s are 90 and 25s are 100. So 18 by 20 is equal to 90 by 100. Now next mark is 20 by 25. So for 25, how much we should multiply to get 100? 4. So we should multiply both numerator and denominator by 4. So 24s are 80, 25 4s are 100. Right? Coming to next one, 35 by 50. So for 50, how much I should multiply to get 100? 2. So 35 into 2 by 50 into 2. So here you will get 70 by 100. Now you got all the marks by 100, right? Denominators are same. Now we can easily compare, children. 60 out of 100, 90 out of 100, 80 out of 100, 70 out of 100. So we can see easily that is in the second test. This is second test marks. She scored more marks, and coming to in the first test, she got the less marks. Yes or no? Here, so Pinky did better in the second test and worst in the first test. Here we have converted the marks for a maximum of 100. So when we express a quantity as a part of 100, we use the word percent. Okay children, here cent means what? Cent is nothing but 100. We call it as century, no? 100. So percent means per 100. It is nothing but per 100. The word percent is an abbreviation of a Latin phrase per centum. Okay, which means per 100 or hundredths. Okay, thus the term percent means per 100 or for every 100 we can say. Okay, for example, see when we say the man gives 30%, and you know the symbol for percentage symbol? Yes, this is a symbol for percent. Okay, example, a man gives 30% of his income tax. This means he gives rupees 30 out of every 100 rupees. Okay, now suppose a trader makes a profit of 15%. Means what? Here he gains rupees 15 on every 100 rupees. Right? Suppose a boy scored 70% marks in his final examination. Means that he obtained 70 marks out of 100 marks. 70 out of 100. Right? So the term percent is sometimes abbreviated as PC. So the symbol is here, right? And is often used for the term percent. So thus 15% will be written as like this. 25% here. So now we will see how for percent as a fraction. Here percent means just now we discussed that per 100 or hundreds. For example, if I take 75 by 100 children, right? Here it is given as 75 into 1 by 100. Can I write? Yes, that is nothing but it is 75 hundredths. Right? That is 75 per 100. That is nothing but 75%, because percent is nothing but per 100. I will take another example, 42 by 100. How to write? 42 into 1 by 100, that is nothing but 42 hundredths. That is 42 per 100. That is nothing but 42%. Then what did you observe here? See, a fraction with its denominator 100. The denominator is 100. The numerator will give you the percentage is equal to that percent as the numerator. Means if the fraction having denominator as 100, the numerator will gives you the percentage signal. Here for example, 11% can be written as 11 by 100, or suppose 63 by 100 will gives you directly 63%. If the denominator is having, numerator will gives you the directly percentage. If the denominator is having 100, the numerator will gives you percentage, right? So here this can be written as, here it is like A by B, can be written as A is to B. So 11 is to 100 also correct. So 11% is nothing but 11 is to 100. Similarly 8% is nothing but 8 by 100 can be also written as 8 is to 100. When you convert this ratio into simplest form, to 4s are, to 50s are, again to 2s are, to 25s are. So here 20, here you will get 2 is to 25 for 8%. Right children? So it follows from that a percent can also be expressed as a ratio with its second term 100 and the first term equal to the given percentage. First term will be the numerator, second term will be the denominator.